All right. This ain't just a show. This is a platform. Veteran built, battle tested. Welcome to the MisFitNation. Yeah! Mic in the room, built from boots on the ground, now we breaking the rules. 2 vets, 1 leader, painting the sound, turn scars into sermons, let them echo around. Authors with truth, musicians with fire, actors backstage chasing something higher. Entrepreneurs bleeding just to get ahead. If you fought for your dream, yeah, you are what you said. If they told you no, if you still came back, if you fell to your knees but you stayed on track, this is your voice, this is your flame. Say it loud, remember the name. No salvation, just elevation. We rise again. From the fight to the end. We are the MisFitNation. No damn labels, no damn cages. If you're still breathing, you belong. Turn it up. This is our song. Yeah. This is our song. Yeah. Veterans standing with ghosts in the chest. First responders running in while the world second guess. Gold star names carved deep in the soul. Your story ain't over, we carry the whole. Coaches teaching mindset, breaking the chain, turning barely alive into owning the pain. Truth over polish, scars on display. If it's real, let it bleed. That's the misfit way. If it's heavy right now, and the dark feels cold. If it's heavy right now, and the dark feels cold. If it's heavy right now, and the dark feels cold. It's stop right now. We're the more than you know. 988, don't walk alone. Veterans press 1, bring it home. Don't trade forever for tonight. You're still needed in this fight. We're the MisFitNation, built from scars and dedication. We rise again. From the fight to the end. We are the MisFitNation. Every voice is vindication. From the silence to the scream, we're strong. Welcome home, you belong. You belong. You belong. Oh wait, you. Oh wait, you belong.
Woo! All right. Welcome back to the MisFitNation in the Sunday after dinner edition. Thank you for taking some of your time tonight on your God-given day off to hang out with us here on the MisFitNation. And we'll have a great guest here in a few minutes. But remember, today is International Women's Day. So if you want to stay in the good graces of those of the fairer sex in your life, make sure you treat them right today. But first, before we start, we'll remember a few people we lost in the last few days. Coast Guard Petty Officer 2nd Class Tyler Jaggers. He was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross while in the hospital for his actions on February 27th, and he did pass away from his injuries. Officer Sort of Fly Davius from the New York Police Department. He was on duty with the New York National Guard in Kuwait, and he had a medical emergency. We lost him on March 6th. Deputy Sheriff Caleb Mitchell, Forsyth County Sheriff's Office, North Carolina. His end of watch was Saturday, March 7th, 2026. Let's keep all those families, their friends, of course, the peers that were with them when it happened, in your thoughts and prayers as they go through this sudden change. They all know that there's a risk when they go to work every day, but they don't want this to happen anytime. So keep them in your thoughts, keep them in your prayers, and lift them up so that they can get through this tough time in their lives. Tonight, we have a great guest coming to us. He, of course, is an outstanding United States Marine Corps airborne veteran. He's special operations qualified. He has an MBA, and he's the founder of Power Plus Pain Aid. After years of service and feeling the physical toll He spent a decade building the world's first energizing pain relief shot, proving Marines don't retreat. They regroup and re-engage. So welcome, Lee Ettinger, to the Misfit Nation. How you doing, Lee?
Hey, Rich. Thanks for having us on tonight. Man, I love that intro song that you got. I mean,
Heck,
I'm fired up. I'm ready to go to the range and send rounds down range. I mean, love that.
heck yeah, that's the whole goal of that song. When we went through the lyrics, the three of us, me, my brother, and Jake, and then I just added the music, and man, it came out awesome.
It really did. Hey, thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be on your show. And if I don't remember to say this before the end of the show, thank you for what you're doing, which is giving a voice not only to veterans, but a voice for veterans. Because more than just veterans see your show. I know that.
Right. And that's our goal. We want everyone to not just hear the veteran story and the veterans world, the veteran sphere, or the first responder sphere. We want the whole audience to be the whole world to understand what our veterans bring to the table, and of course, what they can bring to our veterans if I bring other experts on.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you.
So, Lee, I gave basically the 23-second elevator pitch there for you right there. I would love if you can share with the Misfit Nation a little bit more about you, from as far back as you want to go to how we got here.
Sure. Uh, well, I think a lot of people ask Marines, why did you join the Marine Corps? And I'll be honest, and then I'll be funny. Honest, the Air Force wouldn't accept me. I got done with high school. I was a bad student. I fell in with the wrong crowd, started doing the wrong things. I figured I needed a way out. So I thought I'd join the service. And at that time, I thought, I'm going to join the Air Force because there's a bunch of smart people there. Went to the Air Force recruiter's office, sat down with him. He took one look at me, figured out what I was doing, who I was hanging around with. And he said, Mr. Ettinger, I don't think the Air Force is for you. Turns out he was right. He said, but I got a friend of mine who's in the Marine Corps. He might be able to help you. Now, it wasn't his friend. It was just the recruiter. But uh, they accepted me. They said, okay, you think you got what it takes? Come on. And I thought about it. If I was going to do something for 4 or 8 years and I was going to risk everything that entails, I might as well be the most proud of that time in my life forevermore. And so I learned this from my dad. This country has given us great opportunity and great freedom. But freedom isn't free and it comes at a cost. And if nobody is willing to pay that cost, then we won't have freedom very much longer. So, because of that, I thought it was my duty to go into the military and sacrifice those years. And I thought, gee, Marines, how hard could it be?
What's the worst that could happen in a Marine Corps?
And it's funny, right?
So tell us a little about what you did in the Marine Corps. I mean, you served at a time, we were talking in the green room. You can tell that story from the green room. That'd be awesome to share with the audience.
Oh, yeah. Sure. So I graduated high school in 1984, went in the Marines in 85. Those were the Ronald Reagan years. So there was a lot going on, Cold War. The bombing of the Beirut embassy, it's very timely because Ayatollah Khomeini had just come into power and he bombed the Beirut embassy. 241 servicemen and women died overnight in their beds. They never had a chance to fight back. So that's the world I came into. I was with a Special Operations Qualified Advanced Landing Party. So basically, we were called Shore Party. It's kind of what the Raiders do now and what Seabees in the Navy do, right? So we hit the beach either with the infantry or before the infantry, take the beach, and then our other teams come in and start supplying the beach. And we create a beachhead with all supplies that will move forward from that area. I got the job. I went open contract, which is crazy, right? Because you don't know what could happen. But at that point in my life, I just needed to get in. So I was really worried about being a grunt because God bless them. I'm only 5'6". I
Wow.
could hike or hump, right? I could hump forever, but I couldn't do it as fast as the guys that were 6'1", 6'2". Jiminy crickets. I had a guy next to me, I swear to God, Rich, 6'5".
Woo.
You think I had a tough time keeping up with that guy? And it's not like they shrink down the pack for the
No.
size of the guy, right? That's not the way it works. So didn't want to hike for a living. I'd do it if I had to. Turns out this job, you go from the boat, which usually, and this is why they picked me, parks 200 yards off the beach. That's the effective range of small arms fire because we're the first ones in. We actually go in before the infantry and we're taking fire usually. So the boat captains will park out. You got to swim in. Those LCUs that drop the plank and you just swim in. And we didn't have fancy flippers like SEALs. It wasn't that kind of a unit. You just had what you were going to fight with that day. And you went in. So luckily, I'm a Southern California guy. I'm a surfer. I'm used to waves. I've been in 10-foot waves, just tumbling all over the place. Greatest day of the beach, right? No problem. So I scored top of my class in swim qualification. They just went Ettinger. Swims like a fish. We got a unit for you.
And bingo, here's the gift. Wow. I was just trying to picture that 6'5" guy next to you and the pack on the both of you and him basically he's barely walking. You're sprinting to stay with him.
Yeah, I'm
And
shuffling every 2 feet. And it's funny, we actually ended up being together the entire time of the Marines,
oh wow.
which is unusual.
Yeah.
But we ended up being M60 crew served weapons team. So as our platoon hits the beach, we have 260 teams that go out on either flank and then act as security and protect the flanks of the incoming wave. So he's 6'5", I'm 5'6", and standard operating procedure is you dig a fighting hole to the tallest guy's shoulders. I'm
Golly.
shooting my M16 like this.
And it's
But
funny 'cause I can just see this happening.
let's take the smallest guy and the smartest guy. We're going to just put them together.
Right.
I
I
will
was
say, though, yeah.
I was about to ask, was he the M60 gunner since he's the biggest guy? That seems like that's how the Marine logic is: give the biggest dude the biggest weapon.
Yeah, usually. But there, I don't know where I came in other than, hey, you guys are from California.
You know each other.
I looked at him. He looked at me. I don't think we even liked each other at first. We're like, I don't know, but it worked. No, we got lucky. I will say my time, the 85 to 92, so 8 years. In 8 years, most of that time, Ronald Reagan was our boss. So even though we were a really forward-facing combat unit, I mean, we were the first guys in on any amphibious landing. You name it, that's us. You're talking when we were on ship doing deployments, we had on our boat Navy SEALs, Force Recon, one platoon of grunts, and our team. So if it was going to be a large scale and they needed supplies on the beach, we were sent first, secure the beach, and then, let everything else come on behind us. But I never had to do anything bad to anybody, and nothing bad ever happened to me. And that's really thanks to Ronald Reagan. He kept the world pretty locked down. I got called up for Desert Storm 1, which was a shock because I think it was 3 months away from my inactive reserve finally being done. They called
Wow.
me up. I had to go to San Diego. They do the medical assessment. Like, okay, you're serviceable. You still got all your arms and legs and you're not morbidly obese. If you get another letter from us, Mr. Ettinger, show up with a haircut and a bad attitude. And we can keep you for another 12 months, no matter what.
Wow.
And
Thank you.
luckily, yeah, I never got that letter. They found younger guys. And let's face it, there's no amphibious landings in Kuwait,
No.
Iraq,
Definitely not
Afghanistan.
Iraq. Afghanistan, heck no.
So I got lucky, and that's just the luck of the draw. I mean,
And after this is when you went to pursue your MBA, or was there a break in
Yeah,
there?
I came out, it's really interesting because I was never in active combat. Nobody ever died next to me. I never had to kill anybody. So when I got out, I had no thought of PTSD. I had no thought of re entering my old environment and there would be any problem. And for a long time, I lived with the story that there was no problem. Turns out there was a huge problem, but I just didn't know it. I didn't accept it for a long time. It wasn't until I went on a retreat with other veterans, and they were working on PTSD issues, and I told them, I said, I don't have any. They're like, yeah, come with us anyways. It's a, overlanding, car camping. We'll do fires. We'll do, talks around the fireplace. It'll all be easy. I said, okay, well, I'm happy to go. And I started hearing what the other folks were talking about. And I started realizing, I was being honest with myself. When I got out of the Marines, I went right back to the same block I grew up on. That same block I had had the problems with. And that's why I had to go to the Marines.
Yep.
So I started right back in with, I need adrenaline rush, right? Because I'm from this high functioning, life or death situation. And I started using drugs again. One, because I could. Nobody was going to piss test me. And two, I needed that stimulation. I needed that excitement. I needed to be on the edge. And nobody had ever talked to me about those kind of problems. They're just like, you're fine. You didn't blow anybody up. Go ahead.
You're
And so
good.
for 2 years, I dug myself way back into drug abuse, hanging out with the wrong people, uh, taking things that could have killed me if it was today's world with all the crazy fentanyl shit, and because you don't know what you're taking.
Right.
Uh, and so I realize now I could have died very easily coming out of the Marines because I still needed to be in life or death situations. Um,
Still need that
and
adrenaline.
so, yeah, that's what pushes you towards that. And you hang out with these seedy folks because you just don't feel like you can connect with polite society. They
Right.
just don't understand you. And so you need this on the edge, out of the norm, you know, not genteel society kind of uh, interaction. And I got lucky. I literally had like one of these, I'll call it a lightning bolt from the heavens. Uh, and I realized, oh my God, I'm screwing up so bad. And I don't know what it was. I mean, I still to this day can't tell you what it was that all of a sudden hit me like a lightning bolt. And I went, I'm not kidding you, Rich, cold turkey on every single drug I was doing. I was doing just about everything they had back in the 90s. You name it, I was doing it. And I like doing it, I'll be honest. I mean, you know why drugs are a problem? They work.
They make you
Uh,
feel.
yeah. Ooh. Uh, but I got lucky. Something happened. It was this lightning bolt. I had this epiphany. It said, "Stop doing this, man. You didn't survive 8 years in the Marines to be doing this again." And so I pulled myself out, and I got lucky. And to this day, I don't know what caused that, but I know that nobody told me that is what could happen when I got out, and they just put me right back on the block.
Yep. You go from running full speed, especially doing the mission you guys are doing. That's a full speed mission. No matter if it's training or wartime, it's always go, go, go. It's never, hey, just rest in your bunk and we'll come to you later. You got to be up
Not the
and going,
Marines.
up and ready, up and ready. Gunny Highway showed it in the Heartbreak Ridge that those guys never got a chance to rest. And then when Grenada pops off during the movie, it shows that all that popping off worked, makes them do
Yeah,
things.
it really does. And both me
Your
and my
mind
buddy,
is your mind is going 100 miles an hour for as a Marine, a young Marine especially. That I got to do what Gunny and Staff Sergeant says, or I'm going to be the one in trouble. So I got to be on it. And then you stop. You get the ETS, you get your DD 214, and what do you do now?
yeah, where's the brakes? Who taught you? Where's all of the instruction on how to handle this engagement?
Right.
Right? Because I got briefed on every engagement we were going in, and I knew how to handle it. They were, bringing us up to speed. We had a plan. We had a second plan, and if it all went to crap, you had your guy next to you.
Yep.
And I lost all of that in an instant.
And it's not something that you, like you said, you didn't think you were losing anything. You didn't think it would all change. And then you made, like you said, if there was a checklist of all the things you can do wrong coming out of the service, I think you made it. You had that checklist, and go right back to your Homer record, go all right into that same crowd and the same mistakes, the same things you were doing before that could have got you put in jail or in trouble, and
Yeah.
you wound up in fatigues. Now you're doing them again, but now, hey, I'm free. I can do more. I can do more. I'm an adult now.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
And I think a lot of guys,
lot
yeah,
of
I
lessons
think a
there.
lot of guys that weren't in combat don't realize that they are susceptible to that just as much as the combat guys. Now, the combat guys definitely have a lot more on their shoulders when they're coming out. I mean, a life got taken right next to them that was their friend, or they had to take a life. And good people aren't built to compartmentalize that very well.
Right. It's just not a natural thing.
Not for a good person. I mean, there are, and it is one thing you learn in the Marines is there is evil out there.
Yes.
And there is evil that doesn't care about you. They want to hurt you and kill you. When we were overseas and we went through different parts of Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, oh, yeah. You get that. You get brought up to that really quickly. I mean, I was there when, Gaddafi was bombed and we were part of that. I didn't have to shoot anybody. Nobody shot at me, but we were all right in the middle of that. And so that there's bad people out there. You hear things like I heard from guys that were there, Saddam Hussein and the things that went on in his palace
Yep.
and what his sons did to women. Oh, it was just the thing of nightmares. But if you're not a combat guy, I shouldn't have any of that.
Right.
So you feel guilty having anything that's not quote normal or positive, and that feeds into itself. And that's why all the veteran suicide is not just in the combat ranks. In fact,
Right.
there's a high percentage that is not, and it's really tough because you just don't feel like you're worthy of help if you weren't in a combat zone.
And that's the sad truth that there's a lot of someone that comes from, I think it's a moral injury or the survivor's guilt and stuff like that. If they knew someone that was in combat or knew
Mm.
or were somewhere close but not in the fight, and they've seen these things, it kind of weighs heavy on them. Or if they never got off the bench and all their buddies went, and they were on the bench the whole time because they were in a different assignment while their
Yeah.
contract ended. That guilt it weighs heavy on people, and we tend as a brotherhood and sisterhood to forget about that until it's brought to light and punches us in the face when we see the names on walls and stuff now.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of guys suffering that and they feel guilty that they don't feel like they're deserving of the help for their suffering because they weren't involved in that. So I'm glad that I was able to kind of just by accident fall into that.
Right.
Kind of taught me a lot of things. I mean, it was funny. We were going down the checklist of, are you comfortable in large rooms? No. Do you look at all the exits? Yes. Do you pick up silverware? And feel if it's going to be a good one? Yes. Like 9 out of 10. I'm like, holy shit, I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
A great bunch of guys, and I was lucky. I mean, I had a lot of fun in the Marines. I got so lucky. I mean, me and my buddy who was 6'5", every time there was a special operations school that we got a slot for, they'd ask the platoon, does anybody want to raise their hand? Machine gun school, for instance. It's out at Camp Lejeune, somewhere in the forest. I couldn't even tell you where, to be honest. It's somewhere way deep in the forest, down there. But they said it's brutal. They'll tear gas you every day. It's going to be tough, and it's not something we send people to that don't volunteer. And me and my buddy looked at each other and went,
We'll
like,
do
okay, you guys get on the bus. You're going to be gone for 3 weeks.
All right.
And Same thing with advanced combat skills. Again, another school. They have to have volunteers. Me and him looked at each other and went, "Yeah, let's do this." You know, great funny story. So, at combat skills, we had heard they tear gas you all the time. It's just a thing, right? They'll tear gas you in the middle of the night. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be snotty, runny, crappy. Wah, you're going to cry. Okay, we're cool. We can do that. So we go there. We're in like a field, and there's this steel bunch of benches, right? And all the instructors come out one on one, introduce themselves. It's cold. I remember that. The instructors were in field jackets. And the last guy comes out. We're on bleachers, right? There's probably 25 of us in this class. We're on bleachers. Me and my buddy are sitting in the middle. And he comes out and he's wearing a field jacket. He's got his hands in his pockets of his field jacket. Walks out in front and goes, "Good morning, Marines. My name is Staff Sergeant Cosner." Click, click. Out come 2 smoke grenades. They go under the bleachers, right? Smoke's everywhere. When the smoke clears, my buddy and I have our gas masks on, and we're the only ones sitting in the bleachers. We're looking at each other like, "Oh, man, aren't we the coolest things ever?" Might not have been the smartest move. Because you know who got hazed the rest of that 3 weeks? To death. They
Nice.
they took a CS grenade and put it in our sleeping bag
Oh,
while we
wow.
weren't there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just you're just like, oh man, it's crazy. But again, that's sort of the extra special things you get to do when you don't know how bad could it be.
It's not bad. It's not bad because you were young. It was easy. It was fun. It was the fun life. And then now looking back, hindsight's 2020. Remember that. You can look back now
Yeah.
and say, "Ooh, man, I wish I was smarter in high school and went to the Air Force." Good Lord.
Right. So I was like, and the interesting thing is, and this is for anything. This is for finding a significant other, your friends, your circle, whatever you want to call them. Find folks that think about the big things the same as you. So me and my buddy, we thought the same way about the big thing, which was we don't want to kill anyone, which is kind of rare for the Marines, and
Yeah.
especially, advanced tip of the spear units. We did not want to kill anyone, but we did say we are going to take training as seriously as possible. If they give any extra schools, we will sign up for every one. We will be the first ones on the beach and the last ones on the boat. But we do not want to kill anybody. But if we have to, we are going to be the very best at this than anybody ever was because we want to come home. And for me, that's where my mindset was. I was scared of those guys that went, "Let's go in and kill, kill, kill." I'm like, I don't want to kill anybody, man. And I definitely don't want to lose a limb or a leg or get shot or die.
Right.
But if we have to, let's make sure we're really, 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 really good at our job. So we found each other and we thought about the same thing on the big picture stuff. And so we had each other's back and our goals aligned, using business speak now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. The SMART goal had to have everything aligned there and make sure it matches up to where you want to be next. And
Yeah,
your,
yeah,
your focus has to be where you want to be next, not where you were, but where you're going. And when you had those goals set up, I'm sure you had a lot of other ideas before coming up with the Power Plus. Was there any other ideas, grand ideas that you had before this one? And what were those?
I always wanted to be in sales. So when I got back, I went to school, got my undergraduate degree, and I wanted to be in sales. So I kind of started down that route, different companies. Uh, and this was some of my problem that I realized now later in life. It was really hard for me to connect in the business world at first when I was young because I was coming from such a high functioning unit that we had our each other's backs, so we were same purpose. You were disciplined. You never showed up late, not a minute, and everybody had the same goal as you did. And it's funny because I talk with civilians all the time, of course, and sometimes I'll go down a rabbit hole. You don't know how connected Marines are to each other.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, if somebody got shot on a street in a battle zone, there are other Marines that would volunteer to go out, get that dead Marine. He's not alive anymore, he's dead. Marines would go out and try to pull that guy back to the unit. They would try to go get him. They would risk their life. They would risk never seeing their kids again, never seeing their wife again, having them grow up, never knowing their father. So they could pull that dead Marine out of the street. That's the level of discipline, connection. You talk about having somebody's back. And I just watch it go right over. I mean, obviously, I'm like, yeah, I shouldn't have gotten that deep with them because it doesn't work. And that's the problem I had is like, I was operating here and everybody else was just kind of phoning it in, it seemed. So I started phoning it in and that didn't work well. So I did a bunch of things. But Power Plus was by the time I turned 50, I was still working out, running, surfing, doing all the stuff I wanted to. And my body started fighting back. My Achilles tendon, I pulled in jump school. I ripped it actually in jump school. It was nasty. I had a dislocated shoulder.
Huh.
That was from surfing in Indonesia. That was my fault. But all these aches and pains started coming back, and I couldn't muscle through it anymore. So I started looking at these things called supplements. I figured, all right, regroup, get some more ammunition. So I learned all this great science, and products, protein, creatine, amino acids, all those things work. And then I found all the energy products for the workout world. Oh my God. Some
Sure.
of that stuff, it's like, I could see why the guys are like screaming and grunting doing the sets. You're like, you're jacked as shit. But I couldn't find anything that was all natural and on demand pain relief, right? Just something for that set. Something I'm going in the gym, I'm 15 minutes away. What can I take that's not an Advil or an aspirin or a NSAID? There wasn't anything.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, I'm a marketing guy. I've been a sales guy now all my career. What do you do when there's a need? Because I figured I'm not the only guy that could use a little more pep in his step and a few less aches and pains. In
Right.
fact, I thought that might be a lot of folks. And there was nothing on the shelves that gave you energy and was an on demand, all natural pain relief with a caveat, didn't cause cognitive impairment.
Ooh.
Because we know there are some great herbal items that
Yeah.
are great with pain, just you can't drive with them. You can't operate heavy machinery. Don't fly a helicopter or a plane. But so that's what I did. I said, okay, how hard could it be? I came up with the formula about 6 to 9 months. Wasn't that hard. The hardest part was flavoring. Turns out some of the ingredients we use, like white willow bark, which is what aspirin used to be made from. Well, white willow bark is the second most bitter thing on the planet.
Oh man.
I mean, it'll just, and this is coming from a guy that was tear gassed regularly. No, this stuff is just terrible. So flavoring that actually took about 3 years.
Wow.
And I went through, again, being a sales guy, I got a spreadsheet. 200 companies in the supplement and beverage industry. I talked to every single one of them at some point. They all said they think they can do it. That's how they got on the list. And we ended with one.
Wow.
So military guys and entrepreneurs share, I think, like 9 out of 10 attributes. I think the only attribute, that entrepreneurs don't share with military guys, or they don't know how to strip and clean a weapon in the field.
It's true. And blindfolded.
Yeah.
And actually, we got a question about your entrepreneurship here from the audience. At one Luz 32, what Marine Corps lesson most influenced your approach to entrepreneurship? Thank you, one Luz.
Yeah, that's a great question. And this lesson can come from anywhere. It just doesn't have to come from the Marines, but I got this lesson in the Marines. I can do more than I thought I could. You can get that lesson from a lot of places, from church, from sports, from academic achievements. I had just never had that before. So the Marines taught me I can do things I never thought I could. So entrepreneurs, kind of by definition, are doing things that other people haven't.
Right.
And unless you're a raving egomaniac, it's just natural to think, well, if everybody else has tried or if nobody else is doing this, how could I possibly do it?
Right.
Great question.
We got another one as you were answering that one. This is from Make the Mark. What was the hardest part of the 10-year product development journey? I'm guessing flavoring was one of them.
No. I mean, that's easy. And I'll tell you why. Because when I tell you what the number one hardest thing is, you'll realize everything else is easy. It's kind of the same family as being said no to for 10 years straight. But it's realizing over and over again, nobody cares about you. You are the least important thing to them. And even though this is the most important thing to you, you're the least important thing to them. You are the smallest fish in their pond, and they really don't care. So every email that goes unanswered, every begging for information goes unanswered. Every reply is short. Every reply only answers one thing of 10 questions you asked. So always being told you are the least important thing in their life. And you need them to do whatever else you're doing, whether it's flavoring, packaging, distribution, getting ingredients, anything. The whole life cycle of everything that you do with your product, you're being told on a constant volume, we don't care about you.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty hard to hit. Yeah, that's like getting out and transitioning, trying to get a job and always being told no because
Yeah. Oh, it's
we can
brutal.
afford,
And that's why,
can afford you.
I tell people it's like going through 10 divorces and you're the one being divorced. Like every woman goes, oh, yeah, no, I'm done. That was a year of hell. I hate you. You're the worst person ever. Go away.
Yeah. Thanks, I think.
Yeah, to do that 10 times.
Yeah.
I don't know why I pulled that out of my hat, but I'm just saying, So, yeah, it was rejection is one thing, but you've got to deal with these people. There's something that you need because nothing gets done by itself, right? So
Exactly.
having that reminder every time, they don't care. You're not important to me. You have got to be the happiest, nicest, and you can't yell at them. They'll just go away. You're the smallest thing to them. You're the
Right.
least amount of business for them right now.
And until you make that leap, you're basically just that kid selling Girl Scout cookies outside Walmart or whatever store you're near, trying to get you to
Yeah.
buy this
Yeah.
year's Samoas. And
Yep.
now you're just another guy in the crowded, like you said, the pre-workout or pain relief market. And now you combine the two of them. When you were testing this, what was your test pool like, and how did you realize this? Hey, this thing is good.
Um, Again, it comes back to your circle, right? Your friends. I have great, and people say, like, how do you keep going? How do you keep an idea, moving forward for 10 years? And I'll say, it's the faith that my family and my friends have in me that this product may do something someday. So I tried a lot of stuff on myself because I was kind of used to self-medicating. So there's that. But we we actually had a small group of friends that were raised in the 80s, my same age, so they would try anything. They didn't even ask. I got a call one night. It's 11 o'clock at night, which is odd because most of my friends don't call me at 11 o'clock at night. I see who it is. I'm like, uh-oh. Let's say his name is Chris. I'm like, Chris, what's going on? He goes, hey man, so I took your stuff and um my shoulders are floating above my head. I'm like, don't you mean your head's floating above you? Oh, yeah, man. That's it. I'm like, are you okay, Chris? He goes, well, I took your stuff and then I had some drinks and wow. Okay. I learned that those ingredients that we had in there were too much and we had to dial it down. But there was human trials involved, and not all of them were successful.
A little trial and error. So
There was trial and error. There's a lot more error than trial, but thank God we had, again, great, amazing friends that were willing to literally put their bodies on the line for this product.
that's outstanding to have that circle, to have that reach back to say, hey, I'm coming out with this. I need your help. I know you guys and gals can really help me. Take a sip. Tell me what you
Yeah, and
think.
they did. They believed in me.
That's awesome. That's awesome to have that pool. Another question just popped in. This is from Say It Again. Oh, good answer. At Say It Again. How do you validate innovation in a crowded supplement market? Thank you.
Boy, that's a big one. There's a couple ways. One is, I'll just say the easiest, is to go out and fund studies. You pay the money, they'll do the study, it will say what you want it to. Uh, that's one way. The other way is at the grassroots level. We give away so much product so we can get feedback back. And so we get testimonials. I think having people tell other people about your product is the single most impactful messaging you can use. And so you got to be willing, though, to give it away. Give it away. Like the song, man. Give it away now. Love the Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
But so we give a lot of product away. We said, just give us testimonials. And then that's at the grassroots level. And then you look at what we call trust builders. Who are people that have a following, that when they say something, people trust them? Now, if Kylie Jenner says, I like this makeup, you trust her because she uses a lot of that product, right? A lot of
Oh,
makeup products.
okay.
Um, if I tell you, um, you know, I'm a scuba diver. If I say, hey, this scuba diving equipment is pretty good. I love the brand. They've never, people believe me because I do that a lot and people know I do. So it's finding those people, may not be Dennis Rodman yet, right? You don't have to go for celebrity, but somebody who's got a following that people trust, especially in the world that you're trying to bring this product to life to. And a lot of times, find a connection. That's the thing. I obviously look for ex military and especially Marines because we have an affinity group, right? Um, and so they're the easiest to get to. They'll be the most likely to at least try your thing out. So at the top, it's pay for it. At the bottom, it's grassroots, just regular folks trying it and saying, hey, that really worked. And then kind of in the middle is these trust builders that, for whatever reason, have folks trusting them about their opinion in this matter.
Outstanding. And I think that answers that question and probably some other questions that might pop in as you go through the entrepreneurial journey. Like you said, you get a lot of swings and misses, a lot of no's. You got to learn to understand what no means. It just means yes in a different way, because it means you're going to keep fighting to get that yes. And obviously you fought to get that yes. And that comes from not just from the Marine Corps, probably from your early childhood, fighting to get things you needed in California as you were growing up, and not just being a surfer dude, just out there hustling, because you probably were a hustler before you went in the Marine Corps. And then the Marine Corps just made you focus on being successful. And then this came out. Was there ever a
It's
time
funny you
when you,
say that. Yeah.
was
Yeah.
there ever a time when you thought, oh, nah, I'm not going to do this?
Yeah, actually, very recently, believe it or not, because over the 10 years, I wasn't doing this full time for 10 years. Had the idea 10 years ago. And then we were doing other things in our life. I opened up a restaurant in California, fell into our laps. We had financed the build out, thought we were going to be silent partners. The proprietor bailed out the last second and we were left with it. So I ended up running it for 3 years.
Wow.
Don't try that ever in California. 3 years
Nope.
before COVID.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Ah, but I think again, it comes down to the people that are along the journey with you. I never once had somebody say, you should quit. You should stop trying to do this. So for 5 years, it was just a dream. And I did some thought processes, some business plans, asked a couple people, it wasn't until 5 years when we've moved up here to Montana that it sort of became a full-time job. And we started putting big resources into this. And so we finally got done with production. We finally produced our biggest run yet. We had 3 production runs before that. Everything was wrong about them. We lost money. The product wasn't good. This is the other part about you're the smallest thing in their world. They produced a product that was unsellable. They'll tell you that's too bad. Sorry, it was our fault, but what are you going to do about it? They don't care. And they don't back their product. There's no money back guarantee. If they screw it up, they will tell you to come sue us.
Wow.
Yeah, it's brutal. So I got done with production. We finally got a great production company. Now it's distribution. And that's even harder. And I really thought, man, we've put in a lot of money into this. How much more can we put in? I mean, I'll be honest, we put in a lot of money. So how much more can you put in? We don't have an endless supply. We had a little part of nest egg that's kind of there for this. So it's when you start getting close to, some of those guardrails that you put up for yourself, you really have a gut check of how much more do we want to do? So
And that's just that's life reality there. And that's why I asked that
yeah,
question, to see where yours
yeah,
was, where that wall came up for you. And obviously with the restaurant in California or just prior to COVID, that's like running head first into a wall. And then of course,
yeah.
California on top of it, that's two walls that you ran into. Thankfully you came out of that and you're still with us, and you moved to Montana to a better place. And now you're pushing this. Where do you, I guess, manufacture or mix and make the Power Plus?
Yeah. Yeah. So we're in Montana, but we manufacture out of Utah.
Okay.
Most all of our production runs, even the ones that were terrible, we're out of Utah. Utah has the most supplement manufacturer companies anywhere in the United States. It's all centralized there because I didn't know this either. Every multi-level marketing company is in Utah.
Huh. Look at that.
It's the Mormon Church.
There it
The
is.
Mormon Church has taken multi-level marketing and made it a church industry.
Wow.
Yeah, I never knew that. But I started realizing all these companies are in. Why are they? Start talking to the production companies. They're like, oh, yeah, we do all these supplements for these multi-level marketing companies. We have some extra capacity. We could put your run in here in the middle. And you put 2 and 2 together, like, oh my goodness, all the multi-level marketing. So we manufacture out of Utah. We just got, this is that part about ramping up. I used to sell out of my garage, literally. We do 2,000 to 3,000, maybe 5,000 units at a time. Turns out you can put that in a garage, small little bottles. And then I would send it out myself. I would give it to people. I would go to stores and ask, well, we got 200,000 bottles now. Those are pallets. Those are
Yeah.
like 40 pallets. We're not putting that in my garage. And we're not shipping it out of Montana. So we hired a professional third-party logistics company. They're in Salt Lake as well. See the connections?
It's all coming together now.
They're in Salt Lake as well. And so they ship out anything like from 2 packs from our website to entire pallets for distributors.
Wow. Okay. I mean, it's funny you say that, 'cause that's where Black Rifle Coffee is also. Their headquarters is in Salt Lake
I've
City,
seen that.
Utah.
I've driven down the highway looking, oh, that's where Black Rifle Coffee is. Ah,
We never think that, but now it's all coming together. Now I'm just, whoa.
Utah. It's a lot going on there. Just ask Tom Cruise. He'll tell you. Or he won't.
He won't tell you. He can't tell us. A couple more questions popped in there. Let's see what we got here. Like whoa get. What advice do you have for veterans launching physical product brands? Thank you, like whoa get.
Yeah. Reach out to the other veterans. Find the veterans in your community. There's veterans start businesses all the time. I got a beef jerky company here in Montana. It was started by a Green Beret. but you're already in an alumni system that I think means more than just about any other. I mean, you sacrificed, you fought, you put your life on the line for our country. Okay, whether you got put into admin or not, whether you got put into painting airplanes, that wasn't your choice. You could have been moved right over to Iraq and walking down a street in Baghdad.
Yep.
That wasn't, you didn't have that choice anymore. So network with the veterans. The veterans are a brotherhood and a sisterhood,
Yes.
and they're the easiest person to get in front of. They're probably the only ones that will give you the time of day, even though you can't promise them anything.
Perfect. Yeah, definitely. That's your network right there. And if LinkedIn's probably your best place to hit a lot of them. And TikTok is a ton on TikTok. A lot of veteranpreneurs are on TikTok, which we are live on right now. So if you're on TikTok, please write down your questions and send them. If you don't send them now, I'll send them to Lee later, and he can send you messages. But that's a
Yeah,
great
I'd be
answer.
happy to answer any questions. I was lucky enough to have folks, help me along. But yeah, that veteran community is powerful. And it's funny, I'm an older guy. I'm 60 years old, right? I am now starting to use Grok and ChatGPT, among
Love
other
it.
things, to stalk people.
Ah, look at that.
Hey, ChatGPT, what's Nate Kahuna's contact information?
Ding, ding, ding,
Half
ding.
the time they'll give it to you. Somehow they found it.
Yep.
You're like, hey, Nate, hi, I'm in your neighborhood. Can you help me?
How'd you get my stuff?
And they do. They're like, look, I'm a
I got
Marine.
the guy.
And,
I got the guy.
I thought it was less creepy than showing up in front of your house one morning at dark 30 and waiting for you to step out the door.
With a pair of flip flops. I was happy.
Yeah.
I'll take one last question from the audience here. This is from @JourneyMate. What does no pain, no gain, no pain mean to you now at this stage of life?
There is the old adage of, I just want to age gracefully, right? We all remember that. Nowadays, people are starting to change that mindset a little bit. They're like, I want to age actively. And being active means there's going to be pain one way or the other. I mean, it hit me at 50. I realized I was either going to be fat or sore,
Right.
and there was nothing in between. I was either going to sit on the couch, I wouldn't be sore, but I was going to be fat and lazy. Or going to the gym, it never stopped hurting. It wasn't something where, like, 3 weeks later, you're like, oh, I can do it. And I don't know. So, no pain, no gain. Moving forward is painful, both physically and mentally. But if you want to keep living a productive life where you feel like you're engaged, everything matters. You wake up every day looking forward to achieving what's behind that next challenge. There's going to be a little pain.
Yeah. Definitely. Yes. That's outstanding. Audience, again, thank you for sending in your questions tonight, and thank you for hanging out with us. Lee, my last two questions are directed straight to you, and hopefully, if you've seen our show a few times, you know what these are. First one, what's the best way for anyone to get in contact with you to maybe have you on their show or just pick your brain?
Sure. Well, obviously, going through you, Rich, is an easy way to do it. You've got all my contact information. But if you also go to the website, which is Drink Power Plus. Oh, look. Wow. The magic of the internet. There it is. It's got my email somewhere there, or it's got something where it says, hey, just click into here for more information. You'll find it. Or, hey, just chat GPT me. It'll give up all my secrets. I'm sure. There we go. You just go down to that, and you can find me. I'm pretty easy to spot.
Outstanding. And you can do all your ordering right off that site as well, right?
You can as well, actually. It is true.
See that? You can order right there. You can get your sample in right now and see if this is the right thing for you before you head to the gym in I guess probably 3 to 5 business days in shipping world.
Yep. But, you know,
All right, Lee, and our last question for you. What's 3 things our audience, the Misfit Nation, can start doing tomorrow to be better people?
When they listen to your podcast, I do this myself when I listen to podcasts. I get so inspired. I get so fired up. But if you don't write things down in the moment, so I have now this habit where I write down in the notes section, I pull up a note and I'll start writing. Rich, talk to this guy. I liked it. I got to find him. If you write it down, I come back later
Right.
and I look and I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah. So that's one thing. Two, what's really helped me move forward more effectively later in my life is I took this from my wife. I'll give my wife credit. She makes to-do lists. She makes more to-do lists than I've seen just to-dos. But they keep me on track. I'm at the gym. I'm in between sets. I realize, oh, I got to check in. How do I log into Rich's podcast? I will write that in the to-do. And I keep a running list of to-dos, one sheet, and I'll look at it 4 hours later, go, oh shit, I didn't check in on Rich's. So that's write down what you hear. Keep it someplace, whether it's a pad of paper or anything. There's so many great ideas. So many things happen in our life that we can't keep in our brains because we're moving so fast. So write it down, create a to-do list. And then the third thing is my wife helps me with this. Life is rough and tumble. If you want to make more out of just sitting there and being a lazy couch potato and just taking what the government gives you, um, you gotta put in the work. And so, but putting in the work is difficult if you never celebrate the wins. My wife helps to remind me, even though I think it's all uphill, even though I can't see an end to the tunnel, she reminds me, Lee, you actually were able to achieve this, and this year. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, but we still haven't done all of this. She's like, celebrate the wins. And again, that can be spiritually, that could be business, that could be educational, that could be your kids, whatever it is. But remind yourself that you have done some positive things. If you just start the to-do list, remind yourself once a week, like, hey, I'm a better person because I have a to-do list. Good for me.
Outstanding, Lee. That's three great ones, and a lot of great information tonight you put out, as well as your journey. The journey was awesome. Sharing the ups and downs of the journey really helped the audience to see you're an actual human, and you not just superstar and you do everything supernaturally. You're
Right? I hate those people.
yeah,
They're
you
lying.
ran into those walls, you jumped over those walls like the obstacle course you had to do in the Marine Corps, and you're still doing that now, even as a spry young man as you are right now. You're still doing the same things, but now you have Power Plus with you to help you out and to help you get through those days when maybe it's just that pinpoint because your shoulders jacked up. You want to do shoulders today. You got to get that pain out and pump it up. It's awesome that you've done this and have this product out there to help others as well as yourself. I'm sure you take it as well.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of my own. I take it skiing. There's something about skiing and that product that I absolutely. It's my favorite time to use it of all things. Rich, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for having me on tonight. I also want to thank you what you're doing for the community, the veteran community, because so many of us lose purpose when we get out. Our purpose is ended, and that's a tough thing to handle. And unfortunately, it's not handled very well at all. To see your purpose today and how you have focused your post military career into just this one aspect even
Right.
uh it's empowering, and I appreciate it, and I know you do a lot of good with this, so thank you.
I appreciate that, Lee. It's always good to get that positive reinforcement of what we do here. And like we usually say all the time, with every episode, this is 624. If on every one of those episodes we reached one person and taught one person something and made them stay with us, we're a success. And
That's
that's
huge. That's
what we
huge, and that's
push
why I'm,
forward.
I'm so proud, and it's a privilege to be part of it.
Again, Lee, thank you for joining us tonight. Misfit Nation, make sure you wrote down the things you heard tonight. Take the lessons learned and start your journey. If you want to be an entrepreneur, start that journey. Don't start in 3 months. Start tomorrow or start tonight even. Get on Chat
Do that
GPT.
first bullet point. Yeah, get that first bullet point on the phone. That's all it takes.
And Chat GPT will write your plan. If you have an
Yes.
idea, let them formulate it for you. And if you like it, go with it. If you don't like the way it's worded, say reword it, dude, and it will do it for you. But
Yeah,
don't
it's amazing
quit.
the tools that are out there now.
Yes, keep pushing forward. And on that note, if you are seeing that darkness, do not give in to those demons within. I want to see you tomorrow. Lee wants to see you tomorrow. Your friends want to see you tomorrow. Make the right decision. Call someone for help. Call that inner circle. Reach in that wallet and phone call those 3 people on your 1-inch piece of paper. Let them know that you're
Yeah.
having a hard time. Let them reach back, and maybe it's that little slap in the head, like the nose slap, hit you in the back of the head, wake you up. Or maybe it's, hey, brother, I want you here. Because we all want you here. Do not make a permanent decision to a temporary problem. Misfit Nation,
Oh, I
thank you
love that.
for being out tonight. It's Sunday night. You can be doing so many other things, but you're here with us. We love you. We'll see you on Tuesday with the crew.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling because we are Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation.